All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. But peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And I just wanted to do a quick response to the elder Manata Zagbaz's lesson that he did, the I don't do camps demon. And every once in a while, we encounter Jake like that figure they're going to, learn from a group, but they're going to keep themselves on the outside. They have no intention of, coming in up under the order. They have no intentions on, coming in to actually build, to be instructed. They just, want to receive the benefits and perks of, being in the church without necessarily being a part of it. And that's not how it works. All right. Scriptures talk about, guys that'll be in it, but only for their own reasons, and in this thing of ours, we're not dealing with individualism. We're not dealing with, selfishness. We're not dealing with somebody who figures, they're too good to be a part of the body, the collective. We don't need such an individual around us. You think it's some type of evil to be a part of a company of men who all believe the same thing, that speak the same thing, that are in unison? Because the opposite of collective unity is somebody that's individual, somebody that's on their own. All right, and the scriptures talk about, brotherly unity. Yeah, Psalms 133:1, it says, "Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." All right, and the Heavenly Father is setting up a unit of men. All right, and they're all going to be on the same accord. All right, they're going to serve the same interests. All right, they're going to be one and the same when it comes to judgment, because we're a body. Imagine trying to be a limb that's not trying to be attached to the rest of the body. How's that going to work out? What good is that limb? You either come in to be useful to help the body function, or you just you stay away. All right. But I get it. Some guys, they're leery of joining a camp because of some of the reputations that's out there. Certain groups doing the most, misrepresenting. So Jake feel a little resentment to join a group because they think all the groups carry themselves that particular way. But you got to get over that, and it's based on your discernment. You have to discern if that group is for you or not. And you really should judge based off of not only just the conduct, but also the doctrine. Because there's going to be a group of men that have the 100% true doctrine. Okay? As a matter of fact, I said that with Malachi, where, basically you should be able to discern who serve the Most High and who don't. Because you got men out there that's serving their own bellies. You got hirelings out there that's out there just for the filthy lucre. Okay? And then you got the men out there who has the truth, and they're not corrupting the word. They're not using gimmicks. They're not coming in their own spirit. But you got to judge that. And it's based on, your faith. It's Malachi 3:16. It says, then they that fear the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spare of his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. All right. So if you're of the elect, you're going to, the Lord will give you that spirit of discernment to judge, who's really serving the Lord and who isn't. You're going to be able to judge the true prophets from the false prophets. And you got to try the spirit by the spirit, whether they be of the Most High. And if those are, if the spirit is impelling you, to because you figure, man, this doctrine is starting to, it's striking a chord with me. I'm thinking, I believe that these are the men. Well, hey, get with them. Because I don't know what you think you're doing, just being alone, all right? And basically you by yourself, so you without a company, that means that you're walking around without counsel, all right? You're self-willed. You doing what you think in your own eyes is right. When you don't have a group of men that can help to steer you in the right direction. All right. The Lord don't need that. We're a body, and don't ever think that you're too good to be a part of a body. All right. This is Romans 12. And starting at verse 3, it says, for I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. And, these guys with that attitude, that mentality of, I'm not going to join no camp. I don't really do that whole camp thing. Well, do you think you're higher than the men that are part of the body? I'm gonna just separate myself, and I'm gonna be on the outside, because I don't know about camps. And you think it from the perspective of the world, because the world, they look down upon us. So you don't want to come up under that scrutiny. You don't want to be ostracized. You're probably thinking, man, what if I join this camp and then my family start to look at me crazy? Or what if I go through this or go through that? What if I start getting persecuted, or, evil things start happening? Because I know how Jake think. The Lord said, if you come to follow me, you got to take up the cross. You got to deny yourself, man. The hell with your feelings. All right. The hell with evil thoughts. If you feel like the presence of the Lord is there, then that's a no-brainer. The Lord he said, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. And they didn't follow the Lord individually, because they were a company of men. They were a body. There was a collective of believers. So you too good for that? This is what the scriptures say. All right. To every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office. So we all got different purposes, even though we're in the same body. Okay. Just like all the organs in your body have different functions, but it's all for the function of your body. Okay. So we being many are one body in Yahweh Shai, and every one members one of another. Okay. So we don't think as each individual that's a part of the collective, we don't think of any individual as less than, the other. All right. Everybody is just as important, especially if everybody is functioning properly and doing what they were ordained. All right. So, we don't have the spirit of individuality in this thing of ours. And that's how, in this world, that's what it teaches, not to be family oriented, to, get it on your own, get it from the mud, by yourself. Me before you, me first. I, me. Self independence. Let me get this real quick in Philippians. Philippians 2 and 3, it says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each each esteem others better than themselves. You see that? Matter of fact, let me start at the top. It says, if there be therefore any consolation in a Mashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord and of one mind. But somebody that's by themselves, how would they be able to know, of our conduct and, our standards, our judgments, you be lost, you be out of sync. You would not be able, you wouldn't belong, because you don't know how the body functions. It says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Because, we're here for each other. When we do these labors, we're not laboring just for ourselves. We're laboring for others also. All right. And the body is made up of what? Apostles, prophets, teachers. Ephesians 4 and 11, it says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers. And these men would all be a part of one body. They would not be acting on their own accord. We'd all be in the same mind, all right, of one faith, one baptism, all right, speaking the same thing, teaching the same doctrine. It says, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahweh Shai, till we all come in the unity of the faith. So it's a collective coming in as a unit. All right, we're still one in a Mashiach, but there's many of us. And of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of a Mashiach. Okay, so we all a joint together, fitly joined together. Okay, and if you on some individual stuff, then you're without it. Then what good, are you? And that's not to say that you're not going to have certain believers that's not, it's really not their office to be a prophet or a teacher, but at least if you still want to be a part of it, you would have to at least support it in some type of way. Be a asset. Be someone that adds to it, even though you not functioning in a major office. But it's gonna come a point in time where you're gonna have to, do something. Because by yourself, you're lost. You need some type of guidance. You need instruction. You need advice. You need counsel. And how are you going to have that without, men? And as far as the camp goes, you had groups of men prophesying in groups. There's Apostle Paul right here. 1 Corinthians 14:29, it says, let the prophet speak 2 or 3 and let the other judge. So, you can have a camp of 2, 3. That's a camp of prophets. It says, if anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his peace. For you may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn and all may be comforted. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, and all the prophets are back in their lots in these last days, especially here in Babylon the Great, which you heard the elder, he brought the prophecy out in Revelation. All right, how when the Lord destroys America, he will be then avenged, the holy apostles and prophets, with destroying this place, because the prophets, they prophesied in Babylon. We're here in Babylon now. All right. So let me go from there. Let me go to this account of Numbers. I always bring this up when it comes to this topic, because Jake act like it's, it's something evil about a group of men, coming together and serving the Lord and prophesying, because their mindset is, well, there's cults out there. They look at the Comfies and the Yahweh ben Yahwehs and, these cult-like figures, these false prophets, false messiahs with those cult of personalities. And they think that, I don't want to be a part of that, But that's why it's on you to discern. But some men are going to have false reports. It tells you that in Corinthians, man, by good report and by evil report. The Lord said, blessed is he when men shall speak evil of you, shall revile you and speak all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. So you're going to have men who have they have a false report based on a certain reputation that's out there. But because even Yahushua himself, they spoke evil of him. They spoke evil of his disciples. But we know that, they were true men of the Lord. So it's on you at the end of the day. And if you're of the elect, the Lord's going to draw you in, because it's not of us. We can't make you join. If you of the elect, the Lord's he's going to put that spirit on you, and, you're going to be compelled. All right. There's Numbers 11:26. It says, but there remain 2 of the men in the camp. The name of the one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad, and the spirit rested upon them. So these are 2 men. The spirit came upon them, and they were of them that were written, but went not out unto the tabernacle, and they prophesied in the camp. So were these 2 men, were they wicked for being in a camp? And there ran a young man and told Moses and said, Eldad and Medad do prophesy in the camp. And Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, my Lord Moses forbid them. And Moses said unto him, enviest thou for my sake? Would the Most High would the Most High power that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his spirit upon them. And Moses got him into the camp, and he and the elders of Israel. So he said the Most High would rather that all the Lord's people were prophets. All right. And that's basically what we are. We're a company of prophets. All right. Serving, being fellow laborers among each other. We prophesy in groups. Those are camps. So you can't demonize something that, the Lord actually established. All right. And we happen to be out in the streets like the scriptures tell us to. Go out into the streets and in the lanes of the city. Go out into the highways and hedges and bid to the marriage. Wisdom cry without shall utter her voice in the streets, in the chief places of concourse. So, Jake act like some angel is going to come down from heaven and just, directly teach them like they're Apostle Paul or somebody. Or somebody like they're somebody special. Or the Lord himself is going to come down levitating and he's going to have a book in his hand and he's going to sit them down and teach them. No, man. All of us were taught. And the Spirit came upon all of us when we learned. So, you can have that individual spirit if you want, but it's not going to do you good in the long run. Because it says in Ecclesiastes, even two is better than one. And if you fall in, you have another fellow that'll lift you back up. You can't get that on your own. So anyway, like I said, I was going to, do just a quick response. All right. And Lord willing, this was edifying. Let me give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And until the next one, Shalom.